Hey guys, Girl Key, and I'm back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about the WWE Tag Team Division on the men's roster. Now, depending on the stuff I can get, I will be probably making a version for the women's division. But being inspired, the fact that I took a very long time talking about the Street Profits on my SmackDown video made me think and wonder, like, okay, let me start talking about the tag team division as a whole. Now, our two champions is the Judgment Day when it comes to Finn Balor and JD McDonough and DIY on SmackDown. Now, those two champions, I'm only disappointed. I only don't like that JD and Finn are champions, but obviously it's to push the Liv and Rhea storyline, and when it comes to championships being used for storylines, is a part of the game and it makes sense. Now, they don't need to hold it long. That's my only thing that I don't want, is them to hold it for long, because when it comes to the way they got their belts, it was done terribly to me, because it not only made R-Truth look like an idiot, and R-Truth, he's a goofy character, but him looking like an idiot and it kind of turning into not being fun, being R-Truth's partner for Miz, is kind of breaking my heart a bit, because seeing the Awesome Truth get back together, I wanted them to have that run that they never got to really have. And although it was a pretty good, decent run, R-Truth gave those matches away too much. He trusted people a little too much for my taste, and when they come back, hopefully they're given the opportunity to be tag team champs again. If that occurs, I need them to go back to the old Awesome Truth. Now, Truth don't gotta be a jerk, all that stuff. He can still have his lightheartedness and be the same goofy guy and the same person that everybody loves, but he needs to know when to turn on the serious chip, okay? Because if they're gonna do that when it comes to the Awesome Truth, the Miz just needs to go back into being a heel, okay? Like, just go back to being a heel, because I like the fact that they were having this opportunity, this chance again, and for it to have been taken the way it was, I ain't like it. Now when it comes to DIY and them taking the belts from A Time Down Under, I like that. It was done well, but when it comes to them being at now the Bloodline, I don't want that championship to be used as a plot adder, a plot device, because when it comes to the booking, when it comes to Jacob, the Jacob booking has been outstanding. Like, who can match him? That's kind of the deal for right now. Who's going to be able to match him? Who's going to be able to put him down? And if that's what it was, and they're going to kind of give the belts to Bloodline having all the gold means having all the gold. If Solo does not win, if Solo's not getting the belt at SummerSlam, there's no need to really give the belts to the Bloodline, because then the tribal chief type of thing doesn't really work. Unless they're going to go the route as him being the fake tribal chief because he doesn't have any gold. Makes sense. But when it comes to the other tag teams, I don't know if it's just the fact that there's no room for them in the storylines, but when it comes to Street Profits, I don't like them being, alright, they need to be booked better, period. Because if Montez is going to be booked how he's been booked, because again, they could have been in that match at WrestleMania to get their tag teams. Like, having them with AOP and that really just, they got the WrestleMania dub, sure, yeah, but the Final Testament has not grown really as a group. AOP has not grown as a group, so it's like it didn't go nowhere. It didn't add anything to them other than getting a WrestleMania one, which, of course, that's something that everybody dreams of, but they could have been in that match. They could have had the belts. They could have held those belts. Now, Authors of Pain, Pretty Deadly, those groups, we need to have something. There needs to be a discussion with those groups, because Pretty Deadly got that pop and everything, and they had that factor to where people care about them to a certain extent, but like in the ring, I ain't feeling it. Same thing with AOP. I don't know if it's just because AOP doesn't have the other factors that make them a top group, but they don't add anything either. They're just... And then in the New Day, Kofi's out, and the New Day just needs a new revamp, period. Okay, because at this moment, at this very moment, Biggie is not coming back anytime soon. So the New Day can they can have a little revamping and change who they are, change how they act, because it's not cutting it just them being there to get beat up by groups. They got beat up by Imperium before Da Vinci got kicked out. They got beat up by Final Testament. They still messing with the Final Testament, which that's getting old to me. And I am no booker. So all my videos, I'm not a booker. I'm just telling y'all how I kind of feel and I want things to go. But the New Day needs a revamping. And I don't know if it's just because there's not a real direction when it comes to the tag teams. But I'm going to need a few just as good or almost as good as the New Days and the Usos. Because it's not there right now. There's nothing there at that very moment that's close to it. And I was just really mad when JD became champion, okay? Him just being champion was like, huh, JD. No, I don't hate them. But like, if Jimmy does not interrupt that match on SmackDown when it comes to the Bloodline and DIY, we're getting new champions, period. And if those new champions are not, if we're not getting a Usos comeback, if we're not going to get that, I don't really need them to be champs. Because the only way for me to care about their reign, to care about it, is if that occurs. Because that's like the obvious matchup. And I just don't want to see tag teams to kind of get, I don't want to say squashed, because when it came to the Bloodline and the Street Profits, they did pretty well, considering the fact that the Street Profits had a match before them. But like, I don't want to see them get other teams getting squashed. Now, if it's teams that I don't really care about, cool. But the Creeds, since they're together with Chad, maybe that'll get the chance for another thing to go on. And get the YS6 and the Creeds, whoever gets the tag on their end, and then the Creeds. We can do that. That could be the little rivalry, but there needs to be a moving motion, more motion when it comes to this tag team division, because it's getting kind of stale. It's getting kind of stale, and I just don't know if at this very moment I'm feeling it. I think the hypest I was at the tag team division recently would be after WrestleMania, because of that Awesome Truth and stuff run. A-Town Down Under did a great job as tag team champs, and honestly, it pains me to say this because I do think Theory can do something else, but like their whole dynamic and stuff like that, that kind of made it interesting as well. And if there's nothing at that closeness from after WrestleMania and before WrestleMania with that ride with the Judgment Day and everything, then I just don't really see this tag team division getting more interesting for me. That's just how I feel. And I know that they have a lot of potential, and if they get wrote into the storylines well, things can pick up. But at this very moment, I'm a little disappointed in it, very much. And again, it mainly could be because the teams I wanted to win, the teams I wanted to get far ain't. And the fact that for SummerSlam, at this very moment, there is no tag team matches for the women and men is disappointing. Because that's the same thing that happened at Money in the Bank. There was no tag team matches. It needs to just need to be written. The tag team division needs to be written into the storylines better, because it is a division that kind of helps. It helps company. It helps wrestling, period. So they need more respect. Those are my opinions. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.